So for the next couple of examples of solving radical equations, we'll just look at different variations of the type of problems that you could see. Same basic premise as what you've done in the first couple examples, except we just have to isolate various things. So if we look at example number 3, you can see here that what we really need to do is we need to isolate the entire expression that has a square root over it. So we want to be able to move that 2 out of there. Once that's done, we can square the whole expression that has a square root around it. And what's going to happen here is this. You're going to be left with more or less just an algebra 1 equation that you need to solve for x. So pretty straightforward and simple. The key is just making sure you get a radical by itself on one side. So go ahead and take a look at sample problem number 2 and give that a shot. Okay, and so what we need to do is add 4 to both sides, giving us 10. Now that we have the radical isolated, I can take the square root of both sides so that the root and the power cancel each other out. I also have to take the square of the other side, and this leaves me 2x plus 8 equals to 100, and then I'll just simply solve for x. Okay, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty straightforward. Now, if you look at the next example, what you'll see in this example is we actually have 2 expressions with radicals in it. What you're going to want to do at this part is you're actually going to want to move one of the radicals over to the other side. So you can see here, we still want to isolate one of the radicals by moving this expression over to the other side. Now, when this happens, I have to square both sides to get rid of the radical, and what it does, in effect, it actually takes care of both radicals at the same time. And again, you can see here it just leaves us with a good Algebra 1 problem to solve for x. So we'll go ahead and do sample problem number 3. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to take the 4x plus 28 and we're going to move the entire expression, not just the radical, but we're going to add this whole thing to both sides, which gives us 3 times the square root of 2x. Now that I have a radical isolated, I can square it, but I have to square the whole thing on both sides. Now, this square root and that root cancel each other out. Keep in mind here that this power actually has to go to the 3, and it will cancel out that root separately. So you need to make sure that you account for both parts. So that's 9, and that leaves you 2x. So then we would just simply work out this problem, and I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides, and that's going to leave me x is equal to 2. Okay, and that's pretty much a couple different variations that you can see on radical equations. So that's a good start. Be sure to get some practice on those types of equations.